It's on YouTube.
Sweet.
Go on Facebook. There we go. I think we're live on both Facebook and YouTube. See what happens. First time. It's our first time. All right. We're doing this live. And obviously, we're here to talk Patriots. But we'll probably get some people in here asking about RC. So it's going to be a little bit of mixture of everything. Yeah, everything looks good.
Nice.
Looking good, Spencer. You're looking good over there, buddy.
Yeah, I got my hair cut the other day, and been playing a little bit of some basketball in the morning. A little bit of exercise since the gyms are closed. Yeah, they closed us down, so Jackson and I have been taking our calorie burning to the court.
Oh wow, dang!
So
Jackson,
we played for like 30. We played for 30 minutes and we're like beat.
Oh man! So what are you doing? 1-on-1 then, or what are you doing?
Well, we play a little bit of pig, and we're so bad at it that it takes us like literally 30 minutes to do a game of pig. And then once that's over with, we attempt to play 21, but we only go to 5 points because past 5 points we can't even walk or breathe.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, and no excuses, but we woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go play. We got to the court around 6:30, and it's already like 97 degrees. So,
oh god,
the weather is not on our side.
I'd pass out, dude.
It's pretty rough.
So who's so are you schooling Jackson or what's going on there?
Yeah, every game we played, I've beat him, but I mean we're not like going super hard either, and nor do I want to hurt myself. So I mean I'm missing tons of shots. He's missing tons of shots. I mean it's bad. We're like there's this little 6 or 7 year old kid with him and his dad playing on the other court, and this kid has like Jordans on. He's got the setup, you know. Obviously his dad's coaching him because he was yelling at him while we were there, and this kid was pretty good, and I'm just like, we look so bad compared to this kid.
I would love to see video of this. You should be recording this.
I told Jackson, I'm like, we got to go live, but
yeah,
you know, honestly, every time that I do something non-RC, like it gets crap reviews or crap. No one really cares.
So our football podcast is gonna get crap reviews.
No, but I'm just saying, like I did a completely different kind of YouTube video of non-racing stuff, and I did crawlers, and it was like my worst video on YouTube.
Wow.
And I had fun doing it, so I don't really care what kind of views it got because I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
But my audience doesn't want to see anything but racing. So I want to do like I've been wanting to do a little bit more of the football stuff with you to get outside the box a little bit and spread the love, because obviously everyone, you know, has multiple hobbies, and football is a big passion of mine, and there's been a lot of people that I look up to in that side of things, so can't get much better than that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if I listened to bad or looked at the comments and reviews about the podcast, I would have ended it a long time ago. So you just gotta
keep. It gets rough sometimes.
Oh, absolutely, especially when we first started using like a little laptop microphone, the worst imaginable audio that you could think of, and yeah, you'd get bashed a lot, but you just got to keep doing it, keep uploading. That's what they say. Keep uploading no matter what. That's what you got.
Yeah, exactly.
You get haters out there.
before we get fully started, I'm gonna switch over to my other headset. My AirPods are down the gutter at the moment.
Uh-oh. Spencer's switching. Oh, look at this. He's got to show me up here now.
We're ready.
Is that working?
Perfect.
There you go. AirPods going dead.
Gosh, you gotta love that.
So, yeah, I wanted to do this football podcast. I wanted to do it last year actually, but never got around to it. And the other problem was I didn't have anybody to do the podcast with. Jason doesn't like football.
You know what's funny is when him and I are talking about sports, and obviously, him growing up around the time frame when Jordan was around, and so same with you. Like he loves that I talk a little bit about Brady more than Jordan, because like he understands the era, and I was never able to see Michael play, and by no stretch am I disrespecting his stats, but I'm a Tom Brady fan all the way. I think he's better than Jordan on all aspects and all this stuff. But
yeah,
no,
I mean, I agree with you. Way better than Jordan.
Yeah, I just admire the storyline that Tom had, and Jason knows and respects what I say about it, and we have good conversations about it. So he brings up football when I'm around just to make me feel a little bit better about myself. So which I appreciate. He does that for his buddies. So hey, I'll take it.
Yeah. And you guys went to the Kansas City Patriots game 2 years ago, right?
That was one of my best moments, just experiencing with a friend, mentor, and just going there, hanging out, doing something completely different than RC. And he we were at Hobby Action for one of the JC races, I believe, and he's like, "Let's go to a Patriots game. Let's go to the opener." And I'm like, "Yeah, right." I'm like, "We can do it. It's gonna be the same time frame during the one of the AstroTurf races in Connecticut."
Yeah.
So we did some more research of the dates, and we went to Starbucks across the street from Hobby Action, and he's like, "Dude, let's just do it." So he looked up tickets. It was like $800 for one ticket. So I'm like, I bought my ticket. He bought his ticket, and Jason said that he'll just book the room, and we just did it. I came in a day earlier, and him and I met up, and we went to the game. Of course, they had to lose for the only football game that I've ever watched.
But
it was an awesome time. I mean, my whole family's from Massachusetts, so they know the whole area, and I was able to see my aunt out there, so that was pretty awesome. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to do that. I mean, he did it strictly out of just
love for the Patriots. That's what he did it for.
Love for the Patriots, exactly.
He loves Tom Brady and the Patriots. There's his response. Yeah, you heard us, Jason. You're a Patriot fan. I know it. But last time you were on the podcast, we were talking. Brady left for Tampa.
Yep.
And I was shocked by it. But I wish him well. Then a few weeks later, we find out Gronk comes back, and he's going to Tampa. Patriots trade him because he never retired.
Yeah, he never signed the paper.
Never sent him in. So he never got his severance pay. So if you don't do that, you're able to come back. He did, and the Patriots traded him, I believe, for like a 7th round pick. Was it 4 and a 7?
I'm not exactly sure on the details on the trade.
Yeah, and so he ends up a Buccaneer. So now I don't know what's going on yet. I'll root for those guys for sure because I don't want to see them, fall apart or something. But yeah, I don't know what world I'm living in. Spencer, help me.
It's like, when I saw the whole thing happen, I even said on the last podcast about the Brady thing, and I'm like my whole world just fell apart right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. And you know, as I've looked into a little bit more and reading a little bit about what happened, and since Brady's gone, he's had a couple podcasts he's done. The one that I really loved was with Howard Stern. That one was awesome. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's a business. I totally understand the logistics of why it was more of a coach decision, I believe. And look, you got to prepare for the future. And if you can't see yourself within there between a 2 to 5 year plan, then you're really just not in it. You can't
Yeah.
be a part of the crew. So I get it. I'm not mad that they traded him. Of course, you love fairy tales, but at the end of the day, we're not living in a fairy tale. This is the real world.
The only problem I had with it with Gronk was, he leaves saying that his body's just beat up completely. Like he can't do it no more. The concussions, how many concussions did he I'm sure he was exaggerating that number, but it was like 26.
Oh, I bet it's at least that. I mean, I bet he's
So,
lowballing it.
okay, well, so then, that's nothing to play around with. And he's mentioning that he was done because his body, then he's promoting that CBD oil stuff.
Hmm.
And the problem I have is like you're mentioning that your body's done, and then once Brady goes to Tampa, you decide to come out and say, you want to go to Tampa with him. I mean, I'm just like, what?
Yeah, there's a lot of
I,
conspiracies. I don't believe it was a setup by any stretch. I mean, I did a little bit of research of some of these pro athletes that have been in the football for X amount of years, and they get 20 plus concussions, um, and sometimes they don't tell people about it until they retire. So I can't say you can't say that they he like waited to see what Brady did. I mean, I don't believe
you
that.
don't think those two talked and said, hey, you don't think Brady said, look, I'm going to go to Tampa. I want you
No,
down here.
they asked that question to Gronk, and I thought his answer was it seemed legit. I mean, you can't put that much pressure on like me being Gronk, you being Brady. Hey man, when you need to let me know where you go so I can get some cards together and figure out what I want to play with you. And he's like, oh yeah, we'll make that happen. Like that's gonna work out perfect. It's like this stuff doesn't work out like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Patriots didn't have to trade him to Tampa
No,
Bay. So
no.
now there's another conspiracy. Maybe um the owner of the Patriots, Robert Kraft, was like, all right, just give him, we'll trade Gronk to Tampa Bay to, help out Tommy a little bit, make it seem like a nice storyline, but come on, you can't think like that.
Hmm. That's interesting. Yeah, Gronk had 1 year left on his contract, 10 million. So Tampa Bay owes him 10 million. Um, yeah, 4 and 7 we got out of that. But I don't know, dude. I was just like, I didn't like it because he complained about his body, and
Well, I
now he's
mean,
back and he's
it's pretty obvious that he got pretty beat up. I mean, it's not that he didn't have that many injuries. He had an injury every year, pretty much. He wasn't playing that long.
yeah.
He had some legit injuries.
I
He's
know, but
the he's the only one that I've seen make catches and sacrifice his body more than anybody on the field by a long stretch. And of course, him saying his body's done. I mean, I feel like that's a short term a way to saying it. I mean, you don't take into a when you make a big decision like that of saying something, being as young as he is, even though he's mid 20s. I mean, that's a big statement to say, and him being that young, it's like you can't say that. I mean, he was just being a little bit probably childish and immature of spitting that out, but
yeah.
I mean, that's like saying
All right.
you're never gonna have kids and you're 18. It's like you can't say
Yeah.
that.
True.
But people say it. I said it.
Yeah, I said it. And now I have a 17-year-old.
Exactly.
Oh, I definitely said it. I was like, no way, no kids, never get married. Did all that. And then the other thing, like, and love Brady, but I didn't like that he recently came out and said, I wasn't having any fun. It was no fun. Now I'm having fun in Tampa. I'm like, what do you mean you weren't? Yeah, I understand it's tough to play for Belichick, but you're winning Super Bowls. Isn't that what this is what the whole thing's about, is winning Super Bowls, not having fun. I don't know where this whole thing is. We're not having fun.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I
understand
can't.
that. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
I
trying
guess
to
in
pick.
racing, you want to have fun, but what's most important to you is winning, or no?
Yeah, I I'm trying to put myself in the shoes. I mean, I'm in a similar situation of just competing, and if I wasn't winning, it wouldn't be fun. If I am winning, it is fun. Um, but it's I feel like maybe he's more talking about um
I
I
think they.
don't know the small stuff, the vocal stuff, being able to do more interviews, and I don't know. You 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 think that maybe he's just saying it because he had some big emotions that he needed to just let out, and maybe he just spit it out there, but it's tough to say. I mean, sure he's winning, but it probably wasn't very fun because he probably wanted to do some things with the team and kind of get some players that he wanted or he was gonna get, and then Belichick kind of turned him down, and
But I mean, they tried to help him out by getting Antonio Brown.
sure.
You
And
know,
then that happened, and then ends up finding out that he, I guess, didn't do it, or it brought some negative publicity towards the Patriots, and then that's when Robert kind of cut the
yeah.
deal, and
Kraft's the one that told Belichick to get rid of him.
and you know what? I bet any owner would have done that.
Yeah. And then AB trashes Kraft afterwards. So yeah.
He's not that good of a person either, so highly talented. Jason,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get to that later.
Mahomes having fun, right? 500 mil. Though I was reading an article today about that contract Mahomes signed, and I'll have to pull it up here while we're talking. Um, they were just saying it's not as great as it seems. So I don't know. I'll pull it up later and we'll talk about it.
Not as great as it seems. All right, well, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to hearing that.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty great to me.
There you go, Paul Wynn. Guys on that level have fun winning. That's what I thought. Like I thought, he's winning Super Bowl 6. You got to be having fun doing that. You're gonna go to Tampa. You're gonna be.
It's
It's
a
a looser environment, but now we're gonna
it's
see
a
when they don't
it's a
start
hard
winning.
it's a
Yeah,
hard grind. I'm sure. I know he obviously knows what it takes to win, but maybe he's put a lot of pressure on himself with him and his family, and just yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
I mean,
But
his
yeah,
Giselle makes more money than he does, so that's not really a money thing. But
yeah. That's why he was able to take all those pay cuts. He even admitted to it. He said, "My wife makes a lot of money. She makes like 100 million a year."
yeah, yeah, gosh, that's insane. I think when I think he knew, like he said, that he wasn't gonna be playing there the last 2 years when he signed that last contract. He said that he knew that that was probably his last contract, and I think there's a whole new fun aspect, and from someone that's had so much success going with having one team, and it brings up a whole new sort of goals and perspective when you switch to a new team with a whole new way of um, collaborating with new teammates, figuring out new playbooks, playing with a whole new different coach. I feel like that brings in a whole new um, dictionary of like back to when he was in his childhood playing for high school, college. I think like that whole 10-year span of him from being high school to college to professional leagues, that's like where the fun's at of like
Right.
really making it. So I think he has some serious goals he's going to want to accomplish, and that's what's making it a little bit better or funner than it probably has. So I think he has some serious goals that he wants to
Well,
achieve. And
he wants to prove he can win without Belichick, and Belichick wants to prove that he can win without Brady.
yeah, I mean, sure, that's definitely a valid point, but at the end of the day, I mean, they just want to win games. They want to do what they love to do, and they just want to play with their boys.
Yeah.
Play with their boys.
Let's bring in Jason here to the stream. There he is.
I'll reposition my camera here.
I like it.
How we doing?
We're doing well. We're getting hyped up for the season.
What season?
Football season, Jason, not racing.
Oh.
Jason's like, I'm out.
No, I mean, you haven't even talked about if they're going to have a season yet.
That's true. Well,
yeah. From what I'm hearing, I mean, Gotti probably has read a little bit more than I have, but I mean, you can go ahead and talk about what you saw, Gotti.
Well, I was mentioning that I heard it's going to be possible situations here. There's a couple of them. One of them was 4 locations only, because Jason, NBA's doing just the one location in Orlando right now. NFL's looking at possible 4 locations, no fans. The other one was 25% capacity of the stadium. Then you're also looking at cutting the season from 16 to 8.
Oof.
That would suck. That would. I mean, what do you think, Spencer? You might as well not even.
I don't like that, but
if you're gonna cut it to 8, you might as well just wait to next year and see. Just forget it.
In my opinion, I've told this to Jason. I think in the playoffs they should really play more games. Like it should just be a 3-game, and this at least in the Super Bowl should be a 3-game series. But maybe if they play 8, they'll maybe do something a little bit special for the Super Bowl. I don't know. I probably highly doubt that they would change their tradition on how they play that. But 8 games, that seems ridiculous.
There we go. Justin Jubert says Ravens capped capacity at 14,000 and deferred all 2020 season tickets to 2021.
14,000 fans
in like a 70,000 person facility.
Well, the thing that what I was interesting about, it's kind of has something to do with the football, but in the Supercross, some of them are held in the football stadiums, and they had to finish the season, the Supercross season. They had to do double weekends, like a Friday. They race Friday, and then they race the second series race on Sunday, so that they could finish the Supercross season before the football season starts. So they have the stadiums open for football. So there's a lot more domino effects going on than we think. But that's why they had to finish the Supercross season so early, because they're being held in in football stadiums.
Hey, Jason, I thought there was only one Supercross race.
A1, that's the only one I ever hear about. Every time we're at the race, everyone's excited for Supercross. A1,
It's like
you going A1? Hey, are you going A1? Yeah, I will be there. I'll see you over there. They got
Jason,
the
it's
bike
like
in the back. No, I mean I like I do like the sport. I like the bikes. I think they're awesome. I like the sport, but it's funny because I think of all the sports, to me, it works backwards. Like to me, A1 should be last. Like there's no like build up to a championship that to me that feels exciting, or maybe I'm just missing it, but it seems like it's never. You want it to be compelling down to the end. That's the whole idea of watching something like a sport like football or whatever, uh,
Well,
basketball, whatever. You want to the RC. You want to watch A3 at the Worlds. And it's like after you have A3 at the Worlds, why do you want to watch the rest of the race backwards? Like it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So but yeah, that's the part that I see everyone's excitement level so high when it comes back and they run that race in California, which always does well. But to me, I wish there was a way that they could make it so that it was exciting at the end, um, and not so much just the beginning. And because what I see is the casual fan at the beginning. The hardcore guys. That you see them on
oh, of course.
Facebook. You see the hardcore fans, of course, but it seems like it would be better if somehow they could make it so um, there was a reason to tune in for the points chase to see who wins at the end. And if it is tight in points, sure, that's a bonus. Like if they can get that to happen, but you can see they did it in NASCAR. They made that chase system because they're having the same thing happen. That you could run away with the championship, and then there's no reason to watch at the end. So they made that chase format uh, because they wanted a playoffs. That essentially that's what they did is they created their own version of a playoffs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so it's like there's a certain point uh, where they drop, guys are eliminated. You're in the chase, and then like the last several races, like all those cars are, I think theoretically could win, and that's what that's kind of your build. That's your like playoffs, and
Yeah.
I could see that happening in Supercross because you want to see that excitement build, and can a guy pull it out in the end? And they suffer from injuries a lot in that sport. The best guys go down, and that's something that's I think hurts them a lot too, because your superstars, if they go down in
Yeah.
like race two, it's they don't have a lot of superstars to go around either. I think is the issue. Is there's they don't have as many of the guys that really can carry the whole thing,
Yep.
and it's real damaging if they have 5 or 6 great riders and 2 of them go down. It's a huge thing, a huge blow to the ratings, and it's a tough sport. I'm sure it's tough to be not only be involved but to try and make money off of it, to try to have the whole thing. So, but as Gotti says, Jeremy McGrath, right? We watched him in the '90s.
yeah, yeah.
I used to watch Supercross like every day after school, like on ESPN. They had these reruns, or I don't know what it was, but it was like Damon Bradshaw and what is it, John Michelle Bale? I forget the guy's name, but those were the hot guys. Then McGrath came in and just started dominating.
me and Jason have a huge pet peeve of when tracks put new layouts in. Oh, we made it just like a Supercross layout. This is gonna be so cool. I'm disgusted when I hear that or see it. I'm like, this isn't Supercross.
Yeah.
This is RC cars.
Yeah, I think that started something that Paul and I always talk about, where people try to make an RC track like a supercross track, and it's like you're not on the car. You know what I mean? You shouldn't really have a whoops section or a mogul section that lasts like 100 feet in RC, because you're not actually in the thing. You know, on the bikes they can position their weight, you know, and all that stuff, and on the RC car you got the best guys in the world going like this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, really? But yeah, it's, or you know, obviously there's jumps that are really cool, but um, yeah, I definitely have my opinions about how the track layouts should look and should be, and I just don't like, you know, that people throw 180s everywhere. You know, go this way 180, go this way 180, go this way 180. Like, to me, that's not like actually racing.
It's like that's a Tom Brady Hail Mary right there.
Well, in my racing has always been elevation number one. If you have elevation on a track, that's the top. That does it, I think, for a layout. Anytime you can drive up and you go down, and you know there's elevation, to me that does everything for a track. And then when you have to turn on power, you're going through an S turn, or you have to control the car at all these different speeds. That, to me, that's a real racetrack. And when you just bonsai one direction and 180 and bonsai the other way 180, and basically that's what they do in Supercross, but they don't have a choice. You know, that's, you know, they put berms. It's like berm, you know, shoot, berm, go the other way, berm, go the other way.
They also have regulations on how far their jumps can be apart, and how far the whoops have to be apart. So all the jumps that they have from layout to layout, when they put a big double or a huge triple or a tabletop, they're all to the specs of what their rules are. So the riders always feel like they're jumping the same jump, but in different states, essentially. So.
Oh, weird. Gotti was reminding me this is a football podcast.
Yeah. I was waiting for the message.
Hey, you know what? Everyone likes these hashtags that say takeover, so maybe I came in and RC takeover.
You did a run in on us.
I did this is an invasion angle.
Invasion angle.
The real question is, Gotti, but it's back to football stuff. Let's get back into some serious
I can talk about
here.
football too.
All right.
Patriots and Tampa Bay. If they had to play each other, what are we gonna expect from the fan page?
Oh man.
Well, that's the dream matchup. That's what people want to see.
Yeah.
That would be
That's
the best.
That's going to happen 2021. Tampa Bay comes to New England. Are we going, guys, or what?
For a regular season game?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, if that's, I was looking at the schedule. I was so disappointed about not seeing him play. If that's 2021 scheduled, I'm definitely going.
Yeah, that's what they were saying on ESPN. So
Tampa Bay, that's where we're going, right?
No, they're coming to New England next year.
I already told Jason, I'm like, if there's a game, when there's a game out there and it's a decent matchup, I'm gonna fly out there. I'm gonna go to the game.
Tampa?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jason told me to fly down too, so all three of us can go. Do a podcast.
You can stay at that place in what was it, Clearwater?
Oh, Treasure Island Beach
New
Resort.
Horizons. What was it called?
New Horizons. Treasure Island Beach Resort.
Treasure Island. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm expecting this season to be, if it happens? It's going to be a complete gimmicks from these teams. And maybe gimmick's not the right word, but they're going to be pulling these trick. I feel like it's going to be like these trick plays we've never seen before. I feel like it's more going to be like a show more than a competition game. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the route that we've been taking, and seeing, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, the way that those style players are playing. And if it's an eight game season, then for a fact that they're just going to be pulling stuff out of their tail.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, 8 games. I mean, they already play a small amount of games. So does that mean if you're playing 8, the season's condensed, or does it mean you're playing like every other week? You know what I mean?
That's a good question. I don't know.
So,
Well, I think that's just
I just don't know how any of these sports are going to work without fans. This is with so many things to do in the world, and things to get interested in. They really need their fans, and at some point, they're just gonna have to rock it. They're gonna just have to be like, you know what? Hey, if you want to come,
Just sign a waiver, release form. Don't
if
hold
you
them
want to go,
liable.
let's go. Just
I sent you that thing earlier today about the NFLPA Players Association. They informed its board of representatives on Tuesday that the NFL's proposed a 35% of the players' salaries in 2020 will be held in escrow to help manage the costs for the season.
I could see
Basically, the league wants to hold back a sizable chunk of player salaries in anticipation of decreased revenues to some or all teams being unable to allow fans to attend games.
I mean, I'm sure I could see that trying to do that. Good luck getting the players to sign off on that.
And that's where the players were tweeting today. Are you kidding me?
So, the Players Association, that board of directors or whatever it is, the players have a right to, if that has to be signed off, if that's going to be a thing, how do they make that official? That they need all the players to agree, or is they have no control over that?
The Players Association, the union, would agree on it, would sign off on it. That's where the players are saying, if this happens, we need to find a new union. So
yeah, what happens is if the Players Association doesn't agree, then they go in like a lockout situation, right, where they don't play until they agree on what they're asking.
Right. Absolutely. Now you're right, Spencer. I don't know all I'm assuming that the players don't have to.
I'm gonna have to read into that. Yeah, I want to know, if did the players have a vote in that, or they have their union that they all, one individual that they talk to about the voting system or whatever, that their union makes the decision on that. I'm a little lost on how that works.
Yeah,
I mean, you really think Patrick Mahomes signed that big chunk of money knowing that if that I mean, they must have had all those people must have had a word on all that information that you just said before they even announced it.
I'll look it up here real quick while you guys talk. But Patrick Mahomes tweeted earlier something like, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh, he's the one that tweeted?
Yeah, a whole bunch of players did today. They were upset about it.
Oh.
Here we go. Players react. I'll look this up.
So what's up with these people's money that's guaranteed? I mean, I totally understand from the NFL's perspective, because I think it's important to not without all this extra revenue going in, but the guaranteed money that these players have agreed to along with the teams, does that mean that
So-
would cut into all their money that they would get?
So, real quick here, the league is considering a proposal that would have 35% of players' salaries be held in escrow. And then Don Davis, executive NFL Players Association, told all the players on a conference call today, basically, we told the NFL to kick rocks. There you go. They're not going to accept it. I don't know how that. I don't know if just like Don Davis and a group of guys decide or the players decide, like you're asking. But
Kick rocks. Very
they
politically correct.
they already told the NFL to kick rocks and find something else. Find another way.
What Paul commented here was he was thinking they just take a vote of all the players, and whatever the majority is, then that might be how the union rules that.
So it was
100%,
100% not happening.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Thomas of the Saints. Everyone will sit out and not play until they get their stuff together before we do this. Roger, he also says Roger and those owners better use their billions and put it in escrow or plan accordingly. Our health is way more important. This is about as backwards as it gets. Patrick Mahomes, bro, what? Laughing out loud.
A player said this is about our health. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, Michael Thomas, the Saints.
So
he says our health is way more important.
He's pretty much saying that they shouldn't play until this is squared away.
Right. Yeah, there is some players out there saying that, like, why are we bothering playing if we're going to have to reduce the games or no fans? They're like, why don't we just sit out a year?
And you say, hey, that's fine. You won't get paid for that time.
TJ Lang says, of the Packers says, billionaires love to make people think they're always hurting.
Well, a lot of the majority of those players getting paid, they're so smart with their money. They need every penny that they get from those contracts to pay their bills.
Yeah, right. Bruce Rivkin. If they don't come up with something, the millionaire players will be out of a job. I sure hope they survive.
Justin Doyle was asking if he missed the 10 minutes of RC.
Justin, this is a podcast strictly about football. This is something. This is a collaboration between Spencer, Rivkin, and I. We do need a name, though, right, Spencer?
Yeah. If you guys would be so generous to help us out with a name we can use through the season, if it happens, or just in general to have for next season, then that'd be great. We want to make it.
Yeah.
We want to make it not so Patriots bias, but if we can come together with a non-biased name, so it's generically used in all aspects.
Right. We have some ideas written down, but if you guys submit some ideas to us for the podcast, and if we use it,
I mean,
pat yourself on the back.
As far as the sports stuff goes that Jason was mentioning, what do you think any of these commissioners are coming together? Sports Center and these guys coming together as a whole, figuring out what would be a good game plan just in the business alone. I mean, this is a much bigger business than just football. I mean, this is everything when it comes to watching, the NASCAR stuff, F1 racing. I mean, everything that you can watch online for sports reasons.
I wouldn't be surprised if they've been on some conference calls together, kind of, maybe, throwing some different ideas out there, and everybody's watching everybody else.
Yeah. Someone's gonna need to just jump the gun and just let her eat, sign a waiver. If you don't want to come, don't come. And
I guarantee if you had a home opener in Tampa Bay with Tom Brady and Gronk in the starting lineup, those
It'd be
stands
full.
are going to be full. Not
Yeah,
that,
not even.
not that that's necessarily the best thing, but I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it definitely. I mean, I think a lot of these teams would have their stadiums full. I mean, the Raiders stadium. I mean, they're still building that thing. I wasn't sure when they were going to be actually playing in that stadium. Was it 2021 that they were estimating them to actually be playing in it? Do you know,
Raider
Gotti?
Stadium?
The Raiders in Vegas.
It's ready to go.
It's ready?
It's ready.
Oh, I
They
didn't know
did the
that.
they did the final test a few weeks ago, right, Jason? They flushed all the toilets at once.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah, they
That's
had to
pretty
check the
amazing.
Yeah, they had to check the plumbing out, and everybody had to flush the toilet. All the
Three-
toilets
No
had to be
kidding.
flushed at the same time. Yeah. And once it passed that test, they're ready to go.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, microphones, walkie-talkies, or they're over the PA system probably.
Yeah,
They
it's
just-
on
they-
YouTube. You can check it out. It's pretty cool.
They just synchronized. They synchronized times, and they just said 12 p.m.
Yeah.
Hit the lever.
Like I said, check out YouTube. Oakland Raiders on YouTube. They have the whole. You can see the whole build process too, from beginning to end, and then the final test, flushing the toilets, turning on all the faucets. Also, sorry.
So back
If-
to. I actually have this topic I can't forget about, so I have to spit it out. It's about players. What's more important, players or this is gonna get Jason pretty good right here. So I'm excited to spit this out. Players are more important than coaches, or coaches are more important than players. So I was when I was watching that basketball series, The Last Dance, Jason, and I'm so bad with names. The coach that coached the Bulls when Jordan played, what was his name?
You can fill that in, Gotti. You know.
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson. I didn't know this. He went to the Lakers and got
Right.
several more rings for the Lakers. I had no idea that he did that.
Absolutely. You had no idea where you been.
Well, no, I had no
He was
idea.
barely born.
I had no idea that
Damn.
that until I watched the end of the series, because it said like, oh, what if Phil Jackson went to a different team and played and won more rings, and it ended up finding out that he won. Was it 4 more rings? Or
Phil won 5 more with the Lakers.
5.
yeah, so all the rings that had
So you had 11.
Kobe and Shaq, right?
Yeah, Kobe and Shaq for the first 3, and then Kobe won the second 2 with Pau Gasol.
Yep.
Yeah. So
And Andrew Bynum.
is it like, was it the coach that was doing all the work, or was it the players? I mean, like,
Coach.
come on.
Well, but I mean, obviously both. But I mean, the Lakers, when they had Shaq and Kobe, they had Dale Harris as their head coach, and he just couldn't bring those guys together.
Yeah.
Managing those egos. And who better to manage those egos than Phil Jackson? I mean, he had to do it with Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman.
Ooh, yeah, Rodman was nuts.
So obviously, you bring in Phil Jackson, and then next thing you know, you're winning.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Plus, let's not underestimate the triangle offense back then, too. I mean, that was one hell of an offense to stop. The scheme was just great.
Yeah, I definitely think I think the Patriots are going to be a great team as long as they have Bill. And I'm excited to see. I'm going to spit it out there now. I'm not a fan of Cam Newton by any stretch.
Really?
Yeah, definitely a hardcore. I don't like him at all. I like the talent he brings. I definitely don't think he's a true professional, which is very important. Or he's not. I don't think he's a leader. I think he's very selfish, but I think he's a good athlete. So I was a little bitter when I saw him go there, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But
But in
I
Bill,
think
you trust.
and Bill I trust, but I mean, have you seen the kind of, not that it matters how he plays, but have you seen his Instagram on how he chooses to write his Instagram posts? He uses a
Yeah,
completely different font.
uses his
To
own
me,
font.
when I see that, I think of a little bit deeper of like, you know, I feel like he's not mentally there, or like he's just completely going through a serious part of his life that needs
Well,
to
you know
be.
how he dresses up for the press conferences, all
Yeah.
wacky. Um, the dude just reminds me of Dennis Rodman. I mean, Dennis Rodman was doing this stuff years ago.
Yeah,
I
it's a
I
good
think.
mean,
point.
I think to me, um, what what really is the basis for all this success is these franchises that kind of they set the tone. They say, um, you know, we're going, we're gonna run it a certain way. We're gonna hire a certain way. We want a certain kind of player, and then once they start to develop whatever that culture is, they start developing that winning culture, then other people want to come join. And then once you get that cooking, um,
I don't.
it's that whole bracket um, of the franchise that I think that keeps it sustains it. So I would say this Cam Newton. I would say he's going to step into this deal and
Oh, he's gonna benefit.
he's going to be very good because I think what he's going to realize, or what I would think, is you say, wow, this is like a situation that I could completely change my career. Like the guy's probably young. I don't know how old he is, but say he
He's
goes
31.
on,
younger.
yeah, say he goes on a little bit of a streak and gets a couple Super Bowls with the Patriots and Bill's winning and all of a sudden, yeah, he's got to be thinking about that. I think that once you get into a winning culture and maybe there's a big respect for the people that are running it that have the success, all of a sudden you're playing for something a little bit greater. And I think that's what the Phil Jackson guy kind of brought to the table, especially after winning. Now you're bringing a guy in that expects to win, um, and you're setting the bar high. You're not just setting the bar for personal accomplishments. You're setting the bar for that team accomplishment. And there's also a lot of fallout, right? If you're not falling in line with the system.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you're out there just kind of doing your own thing, not getting showing the respect of your coaching and your game, uh, you're gonna be out of there. And I think it's a good situation if you can get into a winning team like that. And if you got a big, that's why they take a risk because uh, of bringing people in because they're like, man, if we can turn this into a success, then we just hit the lottery. I mean, how can you get
Hmm.
a better pick than somebody? That's what the Bulls did with Rodman. Um, that's what the Bulls did with Rodman is they said, you know what, we can't get a player in the draft that's as good or talented as this guy, and now if we can just control it, it's like you get the number one pick,
Yeah.
or in that realm. So, yeah, I mean, Paul's mentioned the Miami Heat were kind of a joke expansion team, and they brought Pat Riley in to be the coach and the part, whatever he was, coach, part owner, GM. They pretty much went
Everything.
like they pretty much just
Uh,
said, hey, bring us something here, and he
Yeah.
did. He brought up where they got 3 or 4 titles. They got um, yeah, they got 2 with LeBron. They got 1 with Wade and Shaq. So yeah, they got 3 titles, I think.
Hmm.
Uh, so it is, of course you can have the best franchise in the world, and if you don't have the players, you're not going to succeed either. But I think part of it is having the pieces in place and to make those players realize that this is the place to come to, and if you do want to win, that's where you need to go. And
Yeah, I'm not afraid of Cam coming here, and because I know Bell, like you said, the culture is there to reel him in. Though people will say you weren't able to reel in AB, but
I mean, I think,
but they got rid of him. But they got rid of him.
Yeah, we got rid of him right away. So
I just didn't like that he, whoever who is helping him mentor or whatever with, the Panthers. I mean, you can just see he just wasn't a true leader. He wasn't. I can't imagine he had many kids wanted to idolized him. I mean, to be honest, he just didn't seem that. He was more in it for himself. After that press conference after the Super Bowl, he reminded me of the running back for Seattle, Marshawn Lynch. Just degaff in the game, pay me, let me do my thing. I don't want to talk to anybody.
well, I don't know.
At the end of the, there's so many kids that watch the game that want to be like someone, and it's important to have, I don't know, some good traits. I don't see any great traits that he has. I think he's a good football player. He's highly athletic. He has everything going for him other than maybe the mental game, but I guess at the end of the day, it's very difficult to get into the NFL from college. So he made it. So I think he's good enough, but I think it'll be good to be with the Patriots, like how we were talking about.
I do want you to go. Go to YouTube. Go check out Cam Newton's channel. He has about 26 videos up there, and I've watched them all because I wanted to, learn about him a little bit more. So, from what you said, Spencer, go watch his channel and check out his videos from early on. Just watch them all. Just go through them if you have time.
Yeah,
I'll
definitely.
You don't have time because you're racing all, but check it out and then get back to me on that. On the part where you're wondering about his attitude and stuff. So.
Hey, I could be completely wrong. I hope I am because.
I thought the same thing. I felt the same way, and he still got to prove it. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, go check that out. I think a lot of people and listeners out there, go check his. It's just Cam Newton on YouTube, and go see what he's done for kids and stuff like that too in the community of Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
That
good.
You really didn't hear about. So, I think there's a good guy there, and I think Belichick will be able to work with him. Belichick always wanted to work with a mobile quarterback. That's the thing.
Well,
he's been really intrigued by it. So, and Josh McDaniels too. So we'll see what happens here.
He's got Superman now,
right? He signs a 1-year deal, $1.5 million, 550,000 guaranteed. These are the crazy numbers after you hear about Mahomes.
Was it only 1.5? I thought it was 8 million.
Well, here it is. 1.5 million, 550 guaranteed. He can earn another 700,000 per game roster bonuses and up to 5.75 million in incentives, which brings the maximum value of the contract to 7.5 million.
Okay. So what's the roster?
So
what's that stuff? How does that work? Like beating records?
Right. They set
They must have some sort of.
Yeah. Let me pull this article up. And this gets really deep and interesting.
1.5 million. I think I saw something. Some tweets about people were saying that's ridiculous. Someone, there's like pay the man for crying out loud or something. But
so Well, he's coming off. He hasn't played since what? 2018.
I'm sure he was more than fine taking that 1.5 million, playing for the Patriots under Coach Belichick, knowing that this could potentially change his whole career around, and
and sign a big contract elsewhere.
I mean, he's got to know that there's no way that they're going to pay him this $503 million 10-year deal like Mahomes, but.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you know about the contract. Also, it's there's no provision in there that prevents the Patriots from putting a franchise tag on him next year. So if he does well, they could tag him and keep him, and then go year to year with him if they chose to do that. So.
Yeah, I know a little bit about that stuff, but that just at the end of the day, that just kind of screws these players, right? That they're just stuck.
Yeah, but he could,
There's some teams that have the ability to do that with these players or running backs that are like wanting this big chunk of money, and they decide not to franchise tag them, and they end up paying the full amount that they want.
Yeah.
I don't understand the strategy behind that. I mean,
yeah, you feel like if you franchise, when you do that, you piss them off.
Well,
and then then you worry that they're not going to show up and play. That's why I would be like, I'm like, man, if I franchise, put the tag on this guy, he's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, it just shows that you don't deserve this much money, or yeah. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys didn't crap, what's his name? The quarterback,
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. He wants like 40-something million or something. And
45, 40 million or 45, I think he wants something.
Yeah, and then I think they offered him like 33, and he said something on Twitter on live television that if they can't pay me, then send me somewhere where someone can. And I'm just like, what? Like, you just said that? Pretty much like the idolization of the whole NFL. Like, this is like where everyone wants to play is the Cowboys. That everyone loves and hates the Cowboys. It's like, sorry, $33 million isn't enough.
All right, so before the Patriots signed Cam, they had less than $1 million in cap space. Now, does anybody care to hear how they ended up signing Cam? It's really
say that again.
Get pretty deep in here. So Patriots were $1 million. What was it? They had less than $1 million in cap space prior to signing Cam. And then there's a cool article that I found today on how they signed Cam, even though they had less than $1 million. Because you're thinking, well, how the hell did they get him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They signed him to 1.5. So, if you have the time, I'll skim through this. Okay. Let me just scroll through here. Okay. The Patriots had next to no cap space. So it was required to have an NLTBE. Do you know what the letters NLTBE stand for?
No.
Not likely to be earned. Okay, so not likely to be earned. And it describes the majority of the incentives Newton received in his new deal with the Patriots.
That he wouldn't likely get those.
So here it is. By NFL rule, not likely to be earned incentives do not count against the salary cap.
No kidding.
This is genius stuff between Belichick and Nick Caesaro of the Patriots here. The incentive markers that a player didn't achieve the season prior.
Yeah, he didn't play.
Right. So, wait, where did I leave off here now? So the incentives do not count against the salary cap. Incentive markers are markers that a player didn't achieve the season prior. If those markers are reached, then that incentive payment hits the following season's salary cap. So if he hits these incentives that the Patriots put in place for him this year,
Right.
they don't go against the salary cap until 2021. So, for example, if a player did not throw for 3,000 yards in 2019, but would be paid a $1 million bonus for reaching 3,000 yards passing in 2020, that would be considered an incentive that is not likely to be, what do they say there? Not likely to be achieved.
Yeah.
Right? So earned. So it would not count against the 2020 cap. If
That's
that
pretty
3,000
genius.
yard mark is reached in 2020, it would count against the 2021. Like
21.
Sounds like another Patriots loophole.
I was waiting for that. I seriously was. This is just genius stuff. Absolutely. So, what else does it say here? So Newton's deal did not count against the Patriots cap for 2020.
But it was a $1.5 million contract, right? Or was it a $1 million?
Right. So it says 1.05. So the Patriots had less than 1 million in space prior to agreeing terms with Newton. But because he played in only 2 games last season, 2019, the Patriots could have given him very reasonable numbers to reach, and they still wouldn't count against the cap immediately because of the NLTB.
Yeah. Well, they obviously know exactly what's going on, because for them to put that, I mean, that's some pretty detailed, organized crap right there.
Isn't that something? I found it intriguing, man.
That's really intriguing. I can't believe. I wonder if they've used that on other stuff with other players.
I mean, this is the stuff that you don't hear about. But
yeah.
So New England could have gave Newton bonuses for playing in 3 games, for example. Let's just say that they told Cam this year, hey, we'll give you bonuses for playing in 3 games only.
Yeah.
Passing, and in those 3 games, if you pass for 600 yards and throw 1 touchdown. So they could have said that. And because he didn't hit any of those numbers in 2019, because he only played in 2 games.
Yeah, it's a win-win for both.
Absolutely. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that's. I like that, because it just it gave Cam a chance, and I think Cam probably took a risk. Is betting on himself that he's going to be able to be someone better than where he was already at, and then he's like, look, got to start somewhere. I mean. I wouldn't want to pay for the Panthers. I mean, obviously he had some injury seasons go on, and then he had the issue with the Super Bowl, didn't win that. At this point, you're pretty much desperate to try to prove to yourself or to the league that you're capable of achieving these big moments.
Mm-hmm. Jason took off on us. He got bored.
Oh, there he is. Pee break.
Actually, we brought you in, Jason, to kick you out, but we haven't done that yet. So we're gonna test something. Remind me to do that, Spencer.
I'm actually excited that StreamYard thing works, because that's good for what I would like to do, and probably something that you can use it for.
Yeah, and Jason
Did we ever answer Corey Jordan's question about the new name?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. What do you think the Washington Redskins are going to change their name to? Corey Jordan, left tire salute, Corey. I'm hearing Warriors is the top pick. I can't imagine that sticking, because that sounds.
They're really changing the name.
I think they're going to have to. He's getting pressure from all the, Nike pulled everything Redskins off of their store. What was it? He has 3 additional people that are invested. Dan Snyder has 3 other people that pulled out of the Redskins. his investors. Who else was it? Oh, FedEx. They are threatening to remove their sponsorship of the stadium, which is like a contract of $200 million.
I wonder what it costs the franchise to change the name. Like, what's the, what's the at the end of the day, what's it cost you to do that between, legally, and then you gotta. It's got to be a.
What about just all the product? The product that they have
trashed.
Man, and it's just so weird if you change the name, all that history. It's like, I mean, it's still there, but it's the Redskins, man. Change the name.
Well, they changed in the NBA. They went from the Washington Bullets to the Wizards.
Yeah. When did they do that? That was early 2000s.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, 01.
So we were getting as a nation, we were getting soft back then because of bullets. Jeez. Right. I thought it was just late 2000s, but okay.
I actually just heard about that on listening to the radio channel about the Washington Redskins. They're getting heat on the name, and it's a little sad. I mean, I understand what's going on, but
oh yeah.
Man, we're not going to really get into that, but it's a little unfortunate.
Or they could look at it as an opportunity to
make new money off of new merchandise.
Yeah, reinvent themselves with a new name, and they just go right down the line, and all new merchandising, all new jersey sales, and hype things back up with a new, I don't know, some, slogan, and, you get people ready for the switch.
Ready for another 0-8 season?
Yeah. Right.
Well, that's the part that's really kind of unfortunate, that if they're not any good, then a lot of these things don't have as big of an impact, but.
So this article's from 2014. So apparently, the Redskins. This has been in the news for quite a while about them changing their name. The biggest cost by far is applying it to all points of touch that a brand like the Redskins exists on. So the biggest cost, Jason, is merchandise, signage, training facilities, and the stadium. That would be approximately $5 million. This is back in 2014, this article. And then you double that amount, the $5 million would be in court costs and rebranding cost, such as trademarks and patents. So
it probably doubled again of what it's probably worth now.
Yeah.
So $20 million.
I'm looking up all the landmarks in Washington to see if there's any cool names, because obviously the hockey team is the Capitals, and that's a cool name.
Why don't they just go with Washington Capitals?
Well, that's the hockey team.
Who cares? Just go with it.
Go right over the top.
Same logo and everything.
Just change the spelling.
Justin, they need to rebrand anyways. They're in the toilet. So maybe, I don't know. What's the old saying? You can put lipstick on a pig and it's still a pig.
Yeah, that's if you're losing.
If it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, it's a duck.
Yeah. Wax. So I don't know, Justin. Is it going to help? Is it going to help the Redskins by changing their name? I don't know. You still got Dan Snyder as an owner, and that's the biggest problem.
It's like you see the team go up for sale.
Yeah.
Who wants to buy this?
So Spencer, Cam Newton, talked about his character. You worried about his past injuries? He's been injured past 4 years.
I think it's a huge consideration of what's going on, but I also think he was undertaking a lot of responsibilities over there because he was the really only superstar that needed to do something. The play call of the coach that he was played under was quite aggressive, and they went for a lot of running in touchdowns. I mean, he had the year that he went to the Super Bowl. I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but I think he had over 10 plus Super Bowls of just himself running it in. And that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. His O-line hasn't been great either. And this was a pretty cool stat that I was reading today. The Patriots obviously are going to have a better offensive line than he had in Carolina. Last season, Carolina allowed Kyle Allen to be sacked 46 times.
yeah, that's set up a failure right there. I mean, to be honest with you, when Brady played, there was some issues with that. There's been some issues with the offensive line with him for a few years too. So I mean, I think he got sacked a bunch of times when they were playing Seattle, a few years ago. I mean, it's been always a struggle there in New England.
We always had injuries on the line. They just couldn't keep everybody together.
It wasn't like, it just definitely made it a little bit harder for Tom to play, but it's part of football. I don't really think that they're going to have Cam carry everyone like everyone thinks he's going to. I think he's going to be – they're going to put him on a narrow path. They're not going to let him run the show here. They're going to put – he's not very intelligent. When he first went to Carolina, they actually had – one of the wide receivers was actually calling the plays when they first started football. Did you know about that?
No.
Yeah, you gotta do a little bit of research of Cam. He didn't pick up the playbook very well when he when he came from college into the league. He actually had some serious help from one of the offensive players that was on the line, help call the plays. Now, I definitely don't think that's the case anymore, but they're going to put him on a pretty narrow path there, and they're going to need to keep these players healthy. I mean, for crying out loud, they're going to be tired of seeing players leave the game like Gronk and Edelman, and I mean, it's just sick. It's sickening. It's like, come on.
Cam posted on Instagram today. He was studying the playbook.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I haven't had the guts to click the follow button yet.
Oh, really? Oh, you got to do it. Just do it.
I might do it after the podcast. I'm so close. I was so close last night, but when I was reading a bunch of his posts and I saw the way he was writing, I was just like, "What's wrong with this guy?"
Yeah. Is it any worse than AB's tweets? His writing was insane. Well, yeah.
It's a little unfortunate that that's the way they're doing it, but hey, at the end of the day, these guys are professional athletes. Let's go see them play some ball and see where they lie, because they're seeing all these players get paid. We got Patrick Mahomes getting paid the highest contract ever, $500 million. I mean, 10 years. 10 years is a long time. Like, how do you even I don't know. Most people don't know what they're going to do next year.
Yeah.
10 years.
Well, it doesn't mean he'll actually be with the team for 10 years, but.
No, but it's just ridiculous that's.
So this was interesting too. I was looking this up. I didn't know this until I was listening to a podcast today. Because usually you only hear about what, like 5-year deals?
The 5 is the longest I've heard.
Right. So here's 6 NFL quarterbacks who signed 10+ year contracts. Okay, here we go. Drew Bledsoe in 2001. Belichick gave Bledsoe a record 10-year, $103 million contract. in March of 2001.
Jeez.
Did you know that one?
I didn't.
Another one, Brett Favre. You've heard of him, right?
I actually have.
2000. Well, I wasn't sure because this is going way back. I don't know if you were born yet. So anyway, 2001. He signed a 10-year, $100 million deal.
2001.
In 2001, he signed a 10-year deal with the Packers.
He retired in.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Wait. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm reading the wrong thing here. Okay, Favre was traded to the Jets in 2008. He retired after that one. Yeah, where does it say his contract here?
The hockey team has the best name, unfortunately. I'm still on that topic, by the way. I've been researching names here, and
Hashtag name takeover.
Yeah, it was 2001. He signed a 10-year, $100 million deal.
But then got traded in 2008.
2008 got traded to the Jets. Now, also, all these players pretty much got injured.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Bledsoe got injured. Favre did after being traded.
All right, so that's two quarterbacks.
Donovan McNabb, 2002. He signed a 12-year, $115 million contract. So 12 years for McNabb. Culpepper in 2003 signed a 10-year, $102 million. Michael Vick, you've heard of him.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
2004, he signed a record 10-year, $130 million contract.
Yeah, he is the rookie player of the year.
So he signed that in 2004, and then it says, unfortunately, things quickly unraveled for Michael Vick after his magical 2004 season. Despite continuing to dazzle on the field, he went just 15 and 16 over the next 2 years. But 2007 was when everything went haywire, and he was arrested for dogfighting. And then he got Patrick Mahomes signed a 10-year, $503 million contract. So there you go. I did not know that until I heard that on a podcast today. And I was like, wow. I only heard of 5-year deals.
I wonder what Brady thinks of that contract. What do you think he would say?
I don't know, man. I bet he wished he was 20 years younger.
You know what, though? I bet he does. And
everybody does.
But I also think that he wouldn't trade anything up for what he's done, obviously. But I think when he sees that, I think he's thinking, well, looks like your team's done. No more money for your other superstars.
Yeah. Right. Well, there was a lot of good memes going around about that signing. But the Patrick Mahomes thing, we could be here for another hour because I was also digging into that. Remember how I said to you, a lot of it is not, he may never even see the 500 million.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We can get real deep
tonight.
Yeah, we can get real deep into that, but we'll skip all that. But
how about this? I'm working on the names.
I love how Jason's involved there.
Want some have some royalties into this name.
Yeah.
So I've been looking up the animals, the official animals, the official. There's an official bird, but that doesn't work out very well. There's.
So you're going to come up with a name for the Redskins?
Yeah, I'm working on the name here.
Oh, okay.
So here's what I got so far.
This is going on record too, so.
The Washington Bluestones. Because their official rock is the Bluestone. And let's see here.
I don't think they're gonna put anything with color in it anymore.
Bluestones, man. This is
we'll
our
have
team.
to.
The Washington Bluestones. That's their rock.
Man.
I mean, their other thing is that the official tree is the scarlet oak, but that doesn't really sound very good. And the Capitals already stole the best name. The Capital, that's the best name. So
Yeah.
So number one would be you could either try to buy the name from the hockey team, or number two, you go with the Bluestones. And I like the Blues. I can see the jerseys. I can see it has a tie-in here with the.
How would the logo look though? The
yeah, I mean, but just think of all the opportunities. The solid as a rock.
Just a stone, Spencer. Just a stone.
It's a stone. It's a Bluestone.
Yeah, a blue stone.
And
they can name it after a gem.
Well, the question is, do they have an official gem? But right now, I'm going with the Bluestones.
On the record.
I mean, you can't be the Scarlet Oaks. That doesn't work.
I actually kind of like that. I know what you're saying, but I don't think it sounds bad.
Are you buying into
over here.
Are you buying into the Bluestones?
I definitely think that sometime in the near future that they're over the naming colors, because I think it's really gonna cut.
I'm gonna go.
Hold on, I'll work on the logo right here. The Bluestone logo.
I'm dying.
Let me look up what a Bluestone looks like.
If I have my laptop here, I'm gonna get it actually.
I'm seriously crying over here, Jason. Oh my god. You know what? No matter what they name themselves, I'm always gonna think of the Bluestones.
Yeah, see, the Bluestones, man.
Now, how crazy would it be if that's really the name?
Oh man, I'm coming. We're gonna dig up this video, and we're coming for the royalties.
Just tell me what. I mean, 0.5% would be freaking great, Jason. Don't go big swinging for like 20 or 30%.
Yeah, don't get greedy.
Think about it. What's 0.5% of $1 billion a yearly? I mean, that's
I'll
a lot.
take
it. I'll take 0.25%.
We're working on the logo here, guys.
Grant, that's true. Bobby Bunny's contract is still GOAT. Paying him through 2031, is it? Or something like that? Every July 1st. $1 million.
Yeah, that is a pretty good contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, when they'll still be paying him when Mahomes is dead and gone. They'll still paying this other. They'll still be paying this other guy. So what is the? Doing some heavy research here on the Bluestone.
The jerseys, the logo on the helmet, I can see it now. Freaking rock. A Bluestone.
Well, yeah.
So we're changing the colors completely here. You got a dark blue with a light blue uniform. There was white. Wow. Yeah, and you wouldn't be offending anybody, I don't think. Besides,
I don't know, the color blue, man. You'd be surprised what kind of blue people are out there.
Think about this. This team has the Stones.
A freaking sign. You see a fan holding the sign up. This team has Stones.
Yeah. I mean, everything is just written here.
This is great. Oh man. What's Spencer doing with the laptop out?
Well, I'm
making
I'm on my
It's making a logo.
making a logo.
For the Bluestones. Oh man.
This is just horrible. They're saying that the Warriors, the Washington Warriors, is a high candidate of an option.
Yeah, I read that, and then I also heard people saying there's an issue there with calling them the Warriors, which I do believe because there's a high school team near my area that was they were the Warriors and they changed their name last season. They were getting some heat, so I don't think they could do Warriors, even though it sounds cool.
There's Washington Griffins.
Griffins? Come on.
Peter Griffin.
The Washington Redhawks.
Yeah,
Bluestones.
I could see that one. All right, Corey Jordan says, I was listening to a sports show this morning. They were saying the Washington Red Wings because of the Tuskegee Airmen. Because if the airplane they flew was called the Red Wings. Okay. Washington Red Wings.
That's a good one of just history of that.
Corey, you don't like the Bluestone?
I think the Red Wings is kind of. It sounds good, but the problem is that's a hockey team name, right?
Oh yeah, Detroit Red Wings.
I mean, I like the name. I think that would be great. What was the other one?
That's right. They won't be able to do that.
What was the other one we just said before this?
Caroline something.
Caroline.
No, Washington Redhawks.
Yeah, I can see.
Isn't that what you said, Spencer?
Yeah, Redhawks.
I could see that. You're going to go with something very similar, as similar as possible, just because of their colors but oh, here's my picture.
Yeah, Justin, I think they're going to have to change it because Daniel Snyder's getting a lot of heat.
Okay, so check this out.
FedEx is threatening to pull their sponsorship.
Here are.
You ready to see the logo reveal?
Hold on. Let me.
Here we go. John Bolton, Red Wings would be good, but what about Washington Karens? All the Karens that come after us. Wait, what's going on, Jason? You got the green screen effect going on.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, there we go.
Look at the blue stones. See, I got the stones here.
It looks like a staircase.
Yeah, we got the stones here. I mean, this of course there needs a little bit of work.
So, the Washington, you need to add some color too.
Well, I mean, I don't have the crayons in here.
The Washington Red Tails.
No, I don't think you go with that.
How about Washington DuckTales? That was a good show.
Justin Doyle says, looks like bricks.
That is, if you Google the actual Bluestones, it's like a.
Spencer, when we do our football podcast during the year, we'll still, no matter what the name is, they're going to be known as the Washington Bluestones.
Bluestones. That's
Bluestones. Yep.
Wait for the announcement.
That's a shot at XFL.
You guys haven't really realized this either.
Poor XFL. Rest in peace.
My logo presentation, but in the background, I got the outline of Washington too.
Yeah, I see that. Yep.
So, I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on here.
It's not bad.
It says, so check this out. It says on December 13th, 2017, a Native American group, Twitter, said that it appears that the Redskins have changed the name. They're going to change the name to the Washington Redhawks for the 2018 season. That never happened. They tried to push
Okay.
to change the name in 2018
How about the
or
Wow.
2017.
How about the Mohawks?
I don't think you could do that. It's still something with the Indians and stuff, I'm sure. So
Justin said that could be the name of the podcast, the Bluestones. Oh gosh. Drew kind of came in with the one I was dreading. That was the only caveat with my name.
What? What do you say?
Drew Spurgeon. He kind of blew it for my name.
oh yeah, that's I think that name is done, Jason.
Hey, I thought of it while I was I thought of it during the time and I was like, you know what? I'm still going with it.
Why didn't I think of that, Drew? Oh my gosh.
Well, you can leave it not plural.
Washington Bluestone.
This is killing me.
But it's just like tire names. That's what the thing about this is. You always have to make it plural because when you say,
Yeah.
"Are you going to the blue?" Are you go Bluestones? You don't say go Bluestone, right?
Right.
It's tough. This naming thing is difficult.
I don't know. I'm shocked how fast you came up with that, though.
Bluestones.
Well, just to be fair, you and I have been talking for a good 30 minutes on the 5 other topics after that one topic. So he has some time spent in that.
Yeah, 8 minutes. So Justin Doyle, yeah, that was the unique thing about Detox is we didn't have to have. It's not a plural. But I still hear that. Are you running detoxes this round?
What Spencer got?
I got our podcast name for the season.
Oh, I'm ready.
Goat Cast.
Oh man. I love it, dude. You got it.
Can we get MJ on?
The Goat Cast. Who?
You know.
MJ.
You know.
What do you think?
I don't know. I still go with Bluestones.
The podcast name?
The podcast name.
No, Jason wants us to go with Bluestones.
They can't use that.
Yeah,
Come on.
we can't use that. But we will reference the Washington Redskins as the Washington Bluestones in the podcast during the year if they don't change their name.
So I got that going for me.
Yeah.
Ben.
Hey, American Brothers from Britain. What's up, Ben? How you doing?
What's going
Doing
on?
well. So what else do we got I can jump into? I can research while you guys are chatting. Do we gotta change or
Well, this
update?
we were going to talk about the Cam Newton signing. We already did all of that. So and we talked
Do we have to come up with a new name for Cam? No.
No, I don't think so. I think we're good.
How about a nickname? Does he have a nickname?
Well, they call him Superman.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I got
not
some
very-
good
played.
names.
That's not too played out or anything, is it?
Yeah, I was going to say not very innovative there with the nickname on that. But he's always going like this, Jason, with his jersey, I had to get you that T-shirt.
I
Barstool
like-
Sports has
I
it.
mean, when
Patriot
Shaq
logo.
doing the Superman thing, I get it. I think
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah, well, what about then you had Dwight Howard trying to steal that? What's up with that?
He was a brutal Superman.
Yeah.
Not very deserving of that title. Shaq was awesome though.
Yeah.
Justin Doyle said the Bluestones logo right on Spencer's shirt. See how good it could look with just a little work.
Yeah, this is.
With just a little work, how good it could be.
Oh man, I need this towel. Oh my god.
Maybe that'll be our new tire name, Bluestones.
You
I
got to
don't-
do it now, Jason.
I don't really think I'd like that.
Jason, you got to do it. So these guys have to, when they got, hey, you mounting up some blue stones.
See, it's sticking. One name that we were considering, we got Detox. How about Retox? Too close?
Too close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, look at Justin. He's already feeling it, running the blue stones and blue compound.
Allison says no.
I got denied. There was a recent, we got double no's. So, Washington offenders? Nah. No. Bluestones. Yeah, not bad. Hey, as a full-on suggestion, reverbs in green, not bad. Retox.
I'm on the goat cast for our name.
All right. Well, just to make sure there's no other one out there like that. But
I'll check on that.
Or Superman cast.
nah.
No, the goat cast. We talk about greats.
Here was the
Okay.
other name we could have used. Uniball.
All right, man. Oh, I'm dying. Drew Spurgeon says, are they going to rename the White Sox and Red Sox as well? God, I hope not.
Look at
Why
John
would
Bolton.
they offend some Sox?
Stones. Blue Stones would be a great rock crawler tire name. I agree. Not bad.
You're reading these questions before I can get them up there.
Oh, sorry. Should I really bust into my actual list of names?
Jason might have an opinion on our podcast name. Sorry, you guys are working on the football name. I'm working on what's more important is our podcast name. But Jason might have a good one for that.
Hey, Spencer, look at this. It's, by Justin Doyle.
Deflate.
How dare you, Justin?
So
I wonder if I could kick him from this thing.
Hey, you know
Now
what?
we won't
He
do that.
shows you that joke went a long way. What was
That was
the
almost so funny. He had the whole crowd laughing for that.
Let me see here. I got some other names we can entertain.
Bluestones, though, for the John Bolton for rock crawler tire. I like that.
We are going to do one eventually. Here's some names I have written down. This is for tires. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Go at
We
it.
got recovery, relapse.
So detox. What's with the drug references here? I don't.
we have. That's why I was going with it, because we got the detox, the rehab. We need the relapse, right? And recovery.
Relapse.
I think it would be great.
No, I
It's
agree.
like-
I agree.
It's like Jason's going in deep there.
And
Yeah.
then recon. I think recon's cool.
I like recon.
And so that was 3 names we had there.
Yeah, recon's good.
Rehabs. See that?
I think I asked you that before. What's with the drug references, Jason? What's going on here? What's going on here? Are you crying for help?
You're not the only one that's asked me about that, but it just, at the time, I remember we were working on it, and I just, there was a lot of talk about detoxing, and I was seeing things, and I was like, you know what? It's a cool name in the tire. Yeah, VB Pro is writing these down. I have a whole list of names here. Good
Off
stuff.
the wagon.
Yeah, it's kind of a long name.
Yeah.
Allison's texting me. Don't give out the list.
There's
All the good ones will be gone.
only 2 people watching. Don't worry.
I was waiting for that. How about the goat tire?
So you just basically want to put goat in front of everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm actually on this business name generator, so I'm just getting off these names from the web.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's tough.
Really, that's really creative.
The Washington Bluestones, reverbs, and green compound.
Well, Drew's saying RC. It's because RC is a serious drug addiction.
It's true.
There you go, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Recon. That one's good.
Mm-hmm.
But you definitely have to do Bluestone for crawler.
Yeah.
Or no, actually, just do it for racing. So these guys have to mount Bluestones.
They just have to say it.
Mayfield's gonna be like, I'm not running that tire ever. I don't care how good it is.
I don't care if it works.
I don't care if it works.
Sometimes
done.
he'll bring it up and be like, well, what sometimes he'll bring up is he's like, what's the name of that tire I don't like? And you're like, oh yeah, Little Chasers. Yeah, I don't like that one.
And it's like who is that guy that got second and beat me? What was tires he on? Well, do you really want to know?
Don't tell
I
me
think-
he was running the Little Chasers.
I think it was like an AMS or a Saka Nitro. Like one of our guys out on the East Coast did really well with it. I mean, there's a lot of people love it. When I was actually
Cole
running
Ogden
at
loved that
Loganville-
tire. Cole
Yeah, I
Ogden
think it-
loved that tire.
I think it was Cole. It was Cole, and Mayfoot asked Paul or someone. It might have been you. What tire Cole was on, and Paul said, "I don't really think you want to know." And Mayfield just said, "Just tell me." He said the Little Chasers, and he said Mayfield did off the team kind of thing.
Get out.
Those don't work. He know
I
the
read-
other thing he says? He's like, the only thing I know about that one is if that one's working, I always know there's something better. The rock
Yeah.
rears and the hard place fronts. See, they're really liking this Bluestone reference, though. See,
Speaking of tires, we got the Mayfield Tire Guide. Speaking of that, he called me. This is so funny. He called me. He's like, "Hey, when did we started to do tire setup sheets?" He's like, "This thing has more setup stuff than my car sheet does." and I'm like, well, we had him 2 years ago. Like we had him like for sure a year ago.
yeah, it's about a year.
And he's like, "How do I fill this out?" And I'm like, "Just fill it out the best you can, and Jason will fix the rest."
Yeah,
Allison just texted me and said, "See, this is why I approve all the tire names."
I mentioned one the other day, and she's just like, no.
What was it?
Man, I gotta look it up here.
Allison, Bluestone. Come on. Got to approve that one.
She feels just because she named the very first one that she gets like right of first refusal. You know what I mean? Like, it's like since she named the first tire, it's like all the names have to go through her.
Guess she is the boss.
Yeah. What was that one the other day? Oh, yeah. She always looks at it and goes, "What does that say? Hurt?" Like, no, it's not hurt.
He's like, "Do you want to send a link to have her join in?"
She'd be disagreeing with all of our names. Maybe she likes the Bluestones for the.
Who doesn't?
I might
and
send her a
Washington
text
Bluestones.
and ask her about our podcast name. options.
Goatcast.
Jason don't like it. Well, come up with some names, Jason. Send them in. Submit them to the podcast.
I'll work on it. While you guys are chatting, I'll be on that right now.
John Bolton says the rock rears and hard place fronts.
Yeah, it's kind of the Bluestones is becoming a thing.
You got a little bit of a blue hue going on there with your camera, so
See?
I could see why you like. Yeah, got the Bluestone rocking it out.
What was I looking for? Oh yeah, we were podcasting.
Who named the dirt web?
I did.
I remember when Kinwald was making that tire at Competition Hobbies, and he was throwing out some names that he'd like it to be, and I really wish that I would have remembered a couple that he had mentioned, because looking back at it now, it's like kind of cool to think of that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have them all written down.
I mean, he had to have emailed you about that stuff way back then.
He didn't really do any names though. He wasn't really. I don't remember. Hold on. Look at
that. Yeah, Justin. Spencer and I are going to do a football only podcast, even though we're still talking RC in here a little bit. It's all right. It's all good.
We're naming. We got 8 viewers right now live, and if anybody wants to help with us out with a podcast name for the season, for the rest, this is going to be set for life. That'd be great.
I do have people messaging me on Radio Impound on Facebook asking me, "What is this? What's going on?"
Yeah,
is this
you're
live?
gonna have to make.
Yes, it's live. I don't know, but
are you gonna make a new Facebook and YouTube channel for this, or?
Yeah, we'll have to separate the two. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm not gonna put it under RIP. We'll just separate it. Come up with a name. New Facebook, new YouTube.
Man, there's some really cool looking goats.
And all our RC friends can listen to Spencer and I talk about football.
It's actually
during the season. Hopefully.
Go ahead.
What's it?
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Jason.
I was just talking about. I was looking at pictures of goats, and there's some really cool looking goats.
Check out an albino one.
Oh, this one on top of the cliff. That's like got a big winter coat on. This thing is so awesome looking. I think you might be able to play off of this a little bit. It's such a cool photo. You got to use it.
What's this regarding? The name? Or?
Yeah, the name, yeah. Yeah, make sure the domain is available so once you go to the World Wide Web. Goatcast. I'm sure no one's thought of that. All right. Look at this. This thing is awesome.
So I see all the comments coming in from Facebook and a few from YouTube. So for the Radio Impound podcast, head over to YouTube, search Radio Impound, give us a sub. Because I do put the audio version of the podcast up there also. This podcast that Spencer and I plan on doing, again, we'll have everything separate. Jason, you when I talked to you about, I said, Spencer, we talked about doing this podcast, and you said, well, you picked the wrong time to do it because now Brady's gone.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go and supposedly go down the tubes, and you know what? Perfect time to do it now. Cam Newton here.
I'm gonna watch those videos, that the Cam Newton videos. So
yeah, check them out later or while you're traveling, whatever. So
I saw that and I'm just like, but I'm open-minded. I guess It is what it is.
Let's put. I mean, he's not as bad as AB. I think he will listen to Belichick for sure. They are going to have to do. You know how Patriots are pretty. They don't like social media stuff too much like that, but I'm curious to see what they. Oh, look at it's. Oh wow, big yawn there.
Yeah, he loves yawning. He's my my cheerleader in all my videos and my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I add
What's your
him to
dog's
one of
name?
my Diesel,
Diesel. Big Diesel after Shaq.
yeah, he's a 36-pound bowling ball.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, he's my G.
Oh, Allison approves.
Oh, you're a good puppy. You're a good puppy.
Jason, where's Jazzy?
At home.
Mwah.
Diesel.
Oh yeah, he's the.
You take him to races with you?
I haven't taken him to the track. I'm not really a big fan of. I just don't want a bunch of people touching
Yeah,
the
especially now.
dog. Well, especially now, but yeah, I mean, he honestly sleeps so much. He's about to fall asleep now, just sitting here.
Yeah.
But he's an awesome dog. He reminds me of myself. He's like a squirrel. He'll do something for 2 minutes, be super hyper at it, and just completely do something different or fall asleep for like 6 hours. But he actually he has like bad allergies, so I like bought his prescription today, and it was like $80 for him for his like allergy medication. And Jackson's like,
Dang.
oh, he's like, God forbid if your dog had depression or anxiety.
Yeah, really. They will diagnose him with that, just so you have to buy stuff.
Oh, I know. But well, I'm gonna come up with some names tonight. I think I got some stuff that I can work with, and we'll definitely keep the Bluestones in the podcast. That can definitely go viral.
Oh man, way to go, Jason!
Man, this I gotta send you the picture of this goat. It's so awesome.
And you're really into this goat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Spencer, so you're getting ready to head out too?
Yeah. Me, Jackson, my dad, Mayfield's driving out to my house tomorrow morning, and we're gonna head out to California for the JBRL at Thunder Alley in Beaumont, California. Gonna do some practicing, some racing, and pretty much be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday thing. 2-day race really, or 1-day race actually, but on Saturday, and then my dad and I and Jackson leave to go back to Atlanta on Tuesday, and then we're gonna be driving to Tennessee for the Saco Nitro race. So I got a pretty good schedule going for the next few months of racing. So I'm actually going to be staying out on the East Coast for basically a month and a half.
Oh wow!
It's right after PNB. I'm going to be staying out there with Jackson, doing a little bit of the circuit out there. The SOS Series race in Savannah. There's a race at Mills Pond. Then the Wicked Weekend out there. So I figured I want to race as much as I can during this off time, really. And if I can get out there for myself and keep my skills pretty sharp and help out my sponsors as much as I can, then I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And plus, it's really can't get to me. It's like a vacation because anything RC, it's like let's just go race. So
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm not really looking forward to is just if there's any weather complications that gonna happen. So
That and the traveling.
Good luck in Savannah.
well, at this point, I have that's the best option. So
Yep.
we will make it work. Where was Paul? I was just talking to Paul not too long ago this afternoon, and he was saying the Super Cup, where it's going to be in Florida this weekend, it like rains like every day at 4 o'clock there, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of a Florida thing though too.
Yeah.
Florida
Evening thunderstorms. You can count on it. 4 o'clock.
dude. Gotti, when I was in Florida for the Super Cup at Lee's track, it poured so hard and for so long. I'm just like, is the world coming to an end? Because here in Arizona, when it rains, it's like drops, like small drops, and it's like it rains for like 5 minutes and it goes away because it's moving so fast. There was so much rain coming down over there. I thought like things were coming to an end.
It's over. Yeah, if it rains like an inch out in Arizona, man, you guys are like full panic mode, right?
Dude, it's yeah, pretty much. Well, because the
cars
roads,
flying, hydroplaning off the roads, and
people. What was funny that there was a tropical storm that came through, so it hit Georgia and all over there. So, Jackson's local track, Loganville, Mark Moon was telling me that they got like 36 inches of rain.
Jesus.
And I'm just thinking to myself, if that happened in Arizona, like
you'd be underwater.
We'll be underwater.
Wow.
But
Jason's like 36 inches of rain. That's nothing. So, all right, guys, what do you say we wrap it up? I'll let you get back to wrenching. You were wrenching earlier on your cars, putting some parts on there. Get some prototype parts going on.
Yeah, I can't really say much, but we're trying to do something here. Getting some stuff ready for some races. But
yeah,
always testing. Oh, Jason sent me an email.
That's the picture.
I like it.
I sent it to Gotti too.
Where'd you send it to?
Radio Impound.
Oh, gotcha. Will Britton just got here. Good. What's up, Will? You missed it. You can watch a replay later.
Yep.
Spencer and I are doing a football podcast, Will.
And I'm just hanging out.
And Jason's just hanging out. So
it's a sports media, mainly football.
Yeah. Once the season starts, we're gonna do it once a week.
Yep.
Not gonna be 2 hours though, because Spencer's don't have a lot of time. He'll be racing. Hopefully by then you are going full board with racing again.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Jason.
Hopefully.
Any words to say to the fans out there?
We got to get ready. We got to get ready for the next podcast. I got some people that are lined up. I do have. Let me look here to check the date.
It's like, let me check my schedule.
I got to make sure we have, because we have an actual date set with Sean Ireland. So July 23rd, we're supposed to be, I think.
That's the next. That's the next podcast you're gonna have Sean on.
There's one tomorrow if Jason has time.
Yeah, one of the people we're trying to get on is Jackson. Actually, he's one of the guys.
He was in
he
the
told me
background
the
earlier
other-
today.
He told me the other day that you guys were going to call him, and he said he never heard from you.
Yeah, Gotti was mowing.
Yeah, I was actually. Yeah. I couldn't make it that day. That was kind of sprung on me though. You're like, hey, are we recording tonight? I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm busy. Sorry, guys.
sorry.
Go Bluestones.
All
right,
right,
guys. We'll wrap it up here. Appreciate everybody joining us. And
Yeah.
this was our first live to Facebook and YouTube. Crazy. Jason and I have been testing it out for a while, but it worked well.
I'm blessed
you
to
know-
be a part of the first one.
You know what we forgot to do, Spencer? Kick Jason.
You're right.
Yeah, what was I supposed to do now? Just remove him from the chat? Is that what you wanted to see if I could do?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it keep everything going.
Look at that, another great goat cast.
All right, Jason, we are going to remove. We're going to test something here, see if we could remove you. And we're going to end this cast.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. See ya, Bluestone.
Bluestones.
Go Blue
Washington,
Stones.
Washington Bluestones. Yeah, there you go.
Well, it works.
Works, and he dropped off completely. And yeah, I can add more people to it. I would imagine you could post the link, the invite link, into Facebook or something also, if you wanted to.
Well, yeah, I think because you can see how many people join in, like they call it, like behind the curtains, right?
Yeah.
On
Yep,
your
right.
end, and then
Yeah, they'll go
and then
down
you-
here on the bottom, and you can
and
add
then you
them
can
in.
join them in.
Now, like I said, StreamYard they just allowed 10 people to be in queue.
Yeah. Yep.
So there you go. All right. Thanks
Sweet.
everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. And look for our podcast, Spencer and I doing a football podcast during the season. And let's just pray there is a season. Hopefully they get that all worked out and we start
Yep.
on time. And we'll come with you once a week. We'll give you our predictions for the upcoming matchups. Talk a little Patriots and everything else in the NFL.
I like it.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck. Good luck racing, Spencer. Are you going to be gone for a while, like you said? Kick some ass. Always rooting
Yeah,
for
we're
you
gonna-
here. So
We're gonna hammer out some races. Can't wait to see the guys out there and race it out.
Yep.
So cool.
all right, guys. We'll catch you later. See you on the next one.
Thank you. See you, Gotti.
See you, buddy.